Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Marissa. Today I have a ScrapDiva Designs tutorial for you. If you guys picked up the door mini album die set, I have created this awesome box that you can make. Now you don't have to add the doors if you don't want to, but that's basically what I'm gonna teach you how to do today. It is kind of fast. It only uses this door die set and nothing else. I absolutely love that I was able to come up with this idea. So what you're gonna need is 5 pieces of basically the spine piece, which is for your, because you do your album, right? You do 5. You're gonna need 2 of the outside layering door piece, which is the base basically. You'll need 2, and you'll need to cut one down to 3 1/8 right here. So as you can see that I just trimmed it down, and that'll be my box. Now the first part in layering, and then you'll need a couple of these, one for the front, one from the back, but I'm just going to show you the front and how I make the box. So to create the box, I'm going to turn it over because you have like a nice smooth edge here, and then you have the inside. Mine does that little, cutting piece where it leaves that edge. Well, I'm going to turn that on the inside because I'm going to end up covering a piece of it like this anyway. So I feel like you won't be able to tell too bad. And the back side I feel will look a little bit cleaner, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. I'm just going to do it that way. So you'll take the first 2 spine pieces here, and you fold them so that you can lay them down nicely. Make sure it's good. And then this one, same thing. Okay. And then you're going to glue them down as you would to create your albums. But you're going to do it on both sides, so you're going to have your flap. So now that my hinge doors are on, I'm going to create the base of my box. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the spine parts, layer up on top to kind of gauge and semi-measure where I'm going to create the base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw little lines so that I could, can't kind of see there where my layering. So I know it's going to be right here and right at the edge there. Now I'm going to take these and I'm going to score them on my scoreboard, but I have a 12 by 12 and it takes up too much space, so I'm going to do that off camera. But I'm going to score that, and then I'm also going to take my 2 side ones and I'm going to trim them down, which I will show you guys what I did. What I do is, because this is going to be my box here, then I need to have my sides measure up exactly. So I'm going to kind of layer them up, and then I'm going to draw a line across so I know where to cut. And I'm going to do the same on this one, like this. Oh, wrong way. Oh my goodness, you guys. See? This is why I shouldn't do tutorials. I don't do it well. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut there. That way when I cut it, I'm going to cut right at underneath that line so I won't be able to see it. Okay, friends, so my little pieces are cut down to, measure up nicely there, as you can see. And then here's where I scored my box for the bottom part, my box. Oh my gosh, the base for the box. So I'm going to just fold it up nicely so that I have that. And these are going to go on the side pieces. And you can assemble your box, however you want, but at least you know what your box needs to look like. So you don't have to do it exactly like how I do it, but you'll see. And then I am going to cut the corners down so that it glues down nicely. Now that's a little cutting it close there. Okay, so I'm just going to cut my edges like this so that it doesn't, interfere with that little tip there. So you do need to cut that like that. And so then you're just going to glue it down there like that, as you can see. So I'm going to flip it over because it makes it easier for moi. And I'm just going to do this really fast, as you can see. And make sure it lines up nicely there. Yeah. Okay. And then I'm going to, oh, that's a little bit too, make sure it folds up. Yeah. Okay, then this is where sometimes it feels tricky, but you're going to layer one of these, both of these actually, on top of here. And you're gonna bring it kind of like underneath this, so this little edge will glue here. So you can glue that down first and then glue the other one down there. But let me fold these guys up because I didn't do that. So we're gonna fold these up here like this, and we're gonna fold this one up like this. So you'll have these glued there like that. And so now that, then you'll glue this side over here. So your straight side can go on top like this. So even if you want, you could also cut these edges at an angle so you don't see them as well. So I've done that too, I believe, on my box. Okay. So next I'm going to take and glue it to where this slides under here like this, and I'm going to glue it there like that. Hopefully that's enough and it sticks. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same over here. This one? Yeah, no. I don't think it matters, honestly. There we okay. There we go. Okay, now that that's glued, then you're going to take your box like this, and you can glue it down, but I'm going to glue this one, where's my base, here like this. So flip it back over, and I'm going to do this first here like that. So at least I have one of the little flaps, at least in my mind, that's how it works. I have that glued down, and I don't have to worry about it later. All I have to do is glue the sides, which feels easier. That's too, put it too high up there. Need to let that fold happen. There we go. Okay. There we go. So this is what it'll look like. Now I'm going to take the glue and add it here and glue it here like this, so that, if that makes sense. That's one. And just make sure that it's kind of lining up nicely, so when it folds, it kind of does that, you know. Okay. And then I'm going to take this one and do the same thing there. Yeah, although it's kind of hard to get the glue in there. Sorry if you can't see, I'm just kind of running a bunch of glue there. I don't know if it's coming out. You guys can see that it's trying to, sorry if my arm's in the way. This is why I suck at tutorials, you guys. I want you to see, and I'm in the way. So that's down. Now you can glue this guy, and you're going to take it and glue it down like this so that it lays nicely and covers up your pieces there. I'll do this nicely. Sorry, I talked to myself. Okay, So I like the way that looks up top. You won't be able to see at the bottom, so you're good to maybe leave it short, but it works out just perfect. See? Isn't that cute? It's gonna be cute. It's gonna have a nutcracker thing. But I probably won't finish this one till December and adding stuff to it, so keep an eye out. So now I'm just gonna add glue there on both sides. Okay. Now, if you don't want it to have doors, you could just create the box without these flaps and just make the box itself with the background if you want. And I might do that for Christmas. I know Carol, I love watching Carol Herlock's videos because she makes hers so cute and she adds all these like glitter and stuff. Okay, so then next you're going to take your doors, which will be this part here, and you're going to add it there. So for the doors, you'll need 4 pieces because you'll need the front and back so that it's, as you can see, it's nicely decorated. I just realized that the paper I'm using is really thin, so I'm probably going to end up, instead of having both sides, I might do just a solid color on the other side, but I'm just going to do a quick walkthrough of how I do it. So you're going to need some acetate, and then you're going to just glue down your piece, and then you'll just cut around it and have that piece glued down here like this. Okay, once it's all glued and done, and then you bring your layering piece and you're just going to glue it there so it's like a sandwich, and that's how you have your door. Because I know probably be like, oh, you should have shown the doors, but I'm trying to not make long videos because I feel like it takes too long, and I don't know if you guys do have time to be watching my videos. Okay, so you just glue it down. This is just a scrap I had from another project. And once that glues, so here's the green that I'm going to use. It's a little thicker cardstock than the pattern paper, and I'm just going to glue down this piece here real quickly to show you while that door dries with the acetate, because it does take a bit to dry. And okay, I'm like, what are you doing? This is your door here. Okay, so it's gonna, you know, fold back like that. So you want the nice piece facing this way. No, here. Where is it at? This door where I've added the acetate. Now, here's where you could also add stitching and include your, oh my gosh, your sequence mix if you want to put it. I'm not going to put anything because I'm going to end up covering the whole door. So this is where you'll add glue to all of it. And you'll bring your door and you'll just match it up. And be careful because the glue will get on your acetate and then you won't be able to get it out like I just did. Oh, lordy. Okay. And there's your door. Just need to let it dry. Now, I'm going to add, or actually I need to figure out what I'm going to put because I do want to add magnets. But I want to, because I want to add a magnet to the door, I need to figure out what I'm going to put here. But you get the gist. So you'll take the other door and same thing, you'll glue it down. And because I'm going to add the magnet, I'm going to add it here now. And then I need to figure out what I'm going to put on here. I was just kind of doing a tutorial to show how I made the box. But now I realize that I should have had a whole thing done so that I could show what it's going to look like. Oh my goodness. See, this is why I'm not good at tutorials. But that's not wanting to stick. At least it feels like it doesn't want to. It feels like it's popping up. So just make sure you give it some time to glue down nicely. The other thing I'm going to mention is if you want to add stitching, I would add it to the layering pieces when you layer down what's going to be here and on the box. I didn't do any stitching just because I love the look of the paper. And I also wasn't sure if it would be too bulky with the stitching. That's the other thing. But you can maybe add it out here and back here if you wanted. But this is it. So you'll take your other door and then you'll glue it down. And you'll layer up your piece like this, and that'll be your door there. And then create a magnet closure, or you could do like add like a little string, so you could attach a little string here and do a little bow tie, which would be cute. I would probably recommend doing that down here, but then you just decorate however you want. So I hope this definitely helped, and it was an easy project. You just need this die set. You don't need like anything else really, unless you want to add extra stuff, then of course you can. But thank you guys so much for watching. I definitely am learning in the process, so thank you for bearing with me on that. Definitely head over to ScrapDiva Designs if you guys want to pick up this die set. Use my discount code MWalker10, and thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it, and come back for some more projects. Bye.